For those who have been keeping up with XRP news, this grade change from blue chip in July is likely already known to you. Nick, you might be wondering why we're bringing this up again. Blue chip changed the rating of RLUSD by Ripple back in July. It got an A. This is about management, security, and even government. There is also a full explanation of how RLUSD is backed here. Interesting thing is that this was a big change in the market because blue chip gave RLUSD an A rating at the same time they gave Tether a D rating. I don't pay for blue chip anymore. You can get a blue chip plan to see all of this, but I don't think I want to. What we're mostly interested in is the fact that this got a D grade. To give this grade, they look at stability, management, implementation, decentralization, government, and then externals. It's also backed by the reports, the core team, the native chains, and the links. It makes me laugh that checks are done on Tether because I'm sure there aren't any right now. With a market cap of more than $184 billion, Tether is one of the most valuable stablecoins that hasn't even been fully audited yet. Everyone is still asking, like, what the heck? It's 2025. We still don't have a full picture of how Tether works. What the heck is the big deal? What's the big deal about this that we haven't seen yet? In addition to this, RLUSD is always being praised for being fully open and legal, which is the right thing to do. Like, if we think about Ripple and all the new stories that came out behind RLUSD, we can see that RLUSD keeps making big moves. Of course, the open side of Ripple has also been getting a lot of attention. Don't forget that Ripple is a private business. Without being clear, they don't need to be at all. Regarding RLUSD, things are a little different. Obviously, with RLUSD, they need to be clear about the backing and full monthly attestations, which they are. But it's crazy because we keep seeing more and more updates about RLUSD, like bigger moves and more expansions. We just got another big one on November 27th. Pay attention to the dates here. They're very important. For institutional banking, trust and following the rules are musts. Because of this, Abu Dhabi's FS has green-listed ROD, which means it can be used as collateral on lending exchanges and prime brokerage sites within ADG, or Abu Dhabi Global Markets. This makes Abu Dhabi the international finance center. As RLUSD becomes the region's accepted settlement asset, this is another big step forward. There is no safety in crypto trading. It also doesn't matter how big the trade is. In February, $1.4 billion was stolen from Bybit, which is the fourth largest cryptocurrency exchange by trade volume. This was one of the biggest hacks in the history of cryptocurrency. When we look at the top 10 crypto hacks of all time, most of them happened at big exchanges. So where else can we keep our crypto besides cold storage? Capital has premium custody accounts, which are one of the best places to store your crypto because they are fully closed loop systems that are meant to keep assets separate and safe. The best thing about this is that if you hold digital assets on their platform, you can only withdraw them in USD linked to a US bank account. This means that you can't join an external wallet, which makes you less vulnerable to phishing or unauthorized transfers. Now, if you want to use one of the safest places to store your cryptocurrency, you can sign up using my link in the description below. If you put $1,000 today, you'll get an extra $100 in free funds. This is from Reese Merrick, and it's another big step forward for Ripple in the Middle East. ROD can now be used as collateral for loans in AD Global Markets. Ripple has made a lot of progress in the Middle East this year. As we move into 2026, I can't wait to keep building on these strong bases. As you can see from this full breakdown, Ripple's RLUSD is recognized as a valid cash reference token that can be used in Abu Dhabi's ADGM. The financial technology company Ripple, which we already know about, has been approved as an acceptable fiat reference token by Abu Dhabi's Financial Services Regulatory Authority. This means that it can be used in the ADGM, which is Abu Dhabi's, the capital of the United Arab Emirates, International Financial Center. Also, RLUSD can now be used by people who are approved and licensed by the FSR to do certain regulated activities, as long as they meet and keep up with the firm-level regulatory requirements that apply to the use of fiat reference tokens. ADGM is a major international financial center that is known for having strict but advanced rules for businesses. This is a big step toward making Ripple stablecoin a reliable and legal way. To settle transactions in the Middle East, ROD not only got approval from the FSR, but also from other regulators in the area not long ago. The fact that the FSR recognized RLUSD as a currency reference token shows that we are even more dedicated to following the rules and putting trust in institutional finance as a top priority. This comes from Jack McDonald, of course. With a market value of more than $1 billion, RLUSD is quickly becoming a preferred USD stablecoin for large companies. It is also becoming more popular and can be used for basic financial functions like payments and collateral. The next wave of safe, compliant digital assets will be used all over the world thanks to this momentum. The New York Department of Financial Services issued the RLUSD. Since its start in late 2024, it has grown to be worth more than $1.2 billion on the market, a one-to-one USD backed up by high-quality liquid assets, strict reserve management and asset division, a third party at the station, and clear redemption rights are just some of the strict safety measures in place. The RLUSD is made to meet the top standards set by regulators and institutional users. And of course, down here in the UAE, digital asset law and innovation continue to set the standard for the whole world. ADGM is known around the world for its strong and forward-looking governing leadership. This approval makes RLUSD an even more stable coin that meets the greatest standards of trust, openness, and usefulness. This recognition is another step forward for Ripple's business in the area where demand for our goods is growing quickly. It's going to be great to keep working with our partners and officials to help the Middle East quickly and safely adopt digital asset technology. We're proud of Ripple for reaching this important goal. This comes from ADGM's Chief Market Development Officer. We are excited for them to use our strong regulatory framework, which is meant to help innovative businesses grow in a way that is sustainable and meets the highest international standards of control and compliance. This framework continues to set global standards in the digital asset space. Because Abu Dhabi wants to encourage new ideas, openness, and trust, it is a major center for the next generation of financial services and digital finance. This legal clarity is very important for speeding up the use of RLUSD in important business scenarios, such as integrating it into Ripple's cross-border payment solution, making it easy to join and leave the crypto ecosystem, and helping capital markets through Ripple Prime. Okay, listen up. This is a big one. This is clearly one of many important things that Ripple has said in the Middle East and Africa. We have here with its new strategic relationship with Bonn. Ripple is taking its first step into the kingdom. Absa Bank is also becoming Ripple's first custody customer in Africa. These news come after earlier wins, like Zan Bank and Mamo becoming the first customers in the UAE to use Ripple's blockchain-based payment service. I told you before to pay attention to the date. It's November 27th. Why did I talk about Tether? Because the S&P just gave us a big breakdown. It has to do with the S&P Global. Yes, the S&P Global. They just gave Tether a full review. What did they give it? They gave it 5 stars. The value of the item is between 1 and 5. 5 is the worst, which means it's weak. They were very strong, with 1 being the best. This is the overview. As of today, S&P Global Ratings has raised the rating of Tether USD's ability to keep its link to the US dollar from 4 limited to 5 weak. Since our last review, more higher risk assets have been used to back USDT's reserve, which is why the change is negative.